What's up, Council?
Good morning. Oh,
Yeah.
cancel already.
Yeah.
Well,
the Bible says you speak it. When you
Oh,
speak
yeah.
it will come to pass. Yes. And that's what we all have done throughout our lives. And that's where we are where we are today.
I kind of like your words of motivation, though.
Yeah.
Raise your words, not your voice.
Yeah,
It is
I have to
rain
thank Patricia
that
for that.
grows
Give us the
flowers,
template for
not
us to do a
thunder.
lot of
It
the
kind of merges with this video that we've just played. And Charlie, this is true. Like, this is the ultimate kind of love, man. If you're able to live like this,
fantastic.
Then you know you have the right partner.
And talking about that, that's why we're talking about also sickle cell today, because it's a relationship Friday.
It is.
And we're talking about many of the sacrifices people have to make and know that they want to have some fulfillment in their lives.
Yeah, it's a big question of should a sickle cell trait carrier marry someone with sickle cell disease? Big question. We've got a scenario that we're playing out to you. My genotype is SS and my fiance is AS. I love this girl very much because of her character. I intend to marry her, but should I go on? And so we're having this conversation with somebody who is a carrier of this disease herself, but she's also a doctor. In fact, she's been here on Sickle Cell Day. She joined us. And then, of course, our favorite counselor, our life coach, Amos Kevin Annan, will be here as well. So we're having this conversation because we've got to talk about it freely and openly right here on the show this morning. And then we stepped out to find out some views from people out there as well. So it's a detailed conversation on a relationship Friday, Roland.
Okay, so we have great things to talk about, but as always, please keep your messages coming on. And the platform is always there, the number is there as well. And then we'll read a couple of them to you. Do we have a couple?
Yeah, we've got messages, but let's do the newspapers and then we can read the messages.
We also have a special money moments box.
Yeah. All right. So we're starting with the Daily Guide?
Yeah,
is that it?
No.
Or with the Daily Graphic?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
We start off the newspapers.
Bra Pinyin. So we go to Bra Pinyin first before my favorites. Okay, so we go to the Daily Graphic. You do that for me. I'll be grateful. Your uncles are on the front page.
We've got the Daily Graphic newspaper of today. Brouhaha over Gitmo 2. Seek approval from Parliament or repatriates them. Supreme Court and government reacts. Yesterday we got a press release from the Information Ministry coming through. This story on page 3. Also, I see nothing wrong with President Akufo-Addo's visit to Zambia. That's according to Professor Enchidanso. And deal ruthlessly with lawbreakers. IGP charges police commanders. Supreme Court rules against entrance exam to School of Law. The Supreme Court got really busy yesterday giving rulings on various things here. But let's start with this big one. The Supreme Court has given the government a 3-month ultimatum to seek parliamentary ratification of the agreements that facilitated the transfer of 2 former Guantanamo Bay detainees by the United States of America into the country. The court further ordered that the 2 former detainees, their names given here, should be returned to the U.S. government if the Ghana government failed to meet the ultimatum. More in the story in the newspaper. Let's just fast forward and go to this other story related to the Supreme Court on page 52. That doesn't actually give us like a really clear way. We see how the response comes through, but page 52, it's got to do with the Supreme Court's in a unanimous decision declaring as unconstitutional a requirement by the General Legal Counsel that persons seeking to enter the Ghana School of Law need to pass an entrance examination as well as an interview. The court held that the additional requirement, which started in 2012, violated certain articles, details of that in this newspaper. But, you know, it's not one that if you're hoping to get into the process, you should be entirely happy about, because we still don't know exactly how the legal counsel is going to react to this. Back page of the Daily Graphic, though, FDA to destroy Tamale Teaching Hospital expired medicine. Story says the Food and Drugs Authority will, by the end of this month, destroy the expired medicines it discovered at the Tamale Teaching Hospital. This follows investigations by the FDA into recent media reports that the hospital was administering expired medicines to unsuspecting patients. And
they did that?
Questions. Yeah. This issue came up. The Northern Regional Director of the FDA, Mr. Martin Kusi, who disclosed this to journalists at today's workshop in Tamale last Wednesday, said the authority found a lot of expired medicines at the hospital during the investigations and that arrangements were being made for their safe disposal. Isn't there like a regulatory check or something that the FDA should be doing instead of relying on report from the media to tell them that they're
But they also
expired
get to show that
medicines?
because they don't do that, a lot more of the warehouses and the pharmacies and the hospitals will be having some expired drugs.
Yeah, but how about the hospital itself? You guys are professionals and
Killing people.
yeah, I mean, how okay, well, we can't conclude that they've given expired medicines to people and they kill them. But for the fact that you are dispensing, that's the term, isn't it? Expired drugs to people. I mean, why would you want to do that? You should do your own checks. You should have internal checks. So this does not happen. Because after all, I think some of the companies would even, come and take the expired products and give you new products if you alert them in time. But there are a lot more stories in the Daily Graphic newspaper that you can read.
All right, so we have on the front page of the next paper, we're looking at the Daily Guide. NDC chops 103, Cocoa Cash stabilization account empty. And then we have U.S. Consul's protocol visas. I wish that I could discuss this morning. I find it quite bizarre. I don't know whether the U.S. ambassador meant it, that J.J. Rawlings will be queuing for visas, or perhaps John Kufuor, and if Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo becomes an ex-president, will be queuing for visas.
But do they seriously queue?
No.
I mean, I think they'll give you a scheduled time. You just have to be there at the time that they've asked you to be there. That's it.
Oh, but former president. Protocol. Oh, please. Obama, Trump, if Trump is coming to Ghana, will he queue for Ghana visa?
Well, nobody has asked us to put same measures in place.
Or nobody has asked not to
put same measures in place.
I get your point. Yeah. Abraham Atta made free SHS ambassador. We know the brouhaha about him being made
the
ambassador
doesn't school
on social
in Ghana.
Media.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so think about this. What's the whole motive for free SHS?
To encourage people who can afford to have access.
Okay. So we're thinking yesterday, and we had a brief discussion about this. So
with who?
How about with
Among
a few
yourself.
colleagues
Okay.
in the office? How about a really brilliant somebody who truly represents the picture,
that sort of population,
who's actually really
that
made
sort
it
of demographic.
Exactly.
It's
who's
intelligent
really
but
made
comes from a poor background.
Probably made it to PRESEC. It's in the first year. That's a true ambassador. That's somebody who, when he stands there, knowing where he's come from,
to PRESEC,
knowing where he's come from, knowing that he probably went to, like a really poor government school, and then he's made it that far. That's like somebody who truly represents what you want others to emulate. So I don't know. I mean, they have their own motive for this, but this is just what some of us are thinking.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because I mean,
I really don't know why the ambassador for.
Should you be aiming?
Because the policy is aimed at capturing the vulnerable children who can afford to pay.
Yeah.
Okay, and we know that we're having an increasing gap of those who can pay and those who can't, vis-a-vis the numbers as far as that gap is concerned.
Yeah.
And so you bring a policy, you want to it to capture a lot more people, a lot more children, or a lot more pupils or students. Now you go bring somebody who is where does this go in the US?
You know what he his past is almost like this, except that he's been elevated from there.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't represent, because
today
if somebody is an ambassador, there should be some correlation between that person's character and personality, and then what that person is an ambassadorial role model for.
Well,
I mean,
so I was thinking about it this way. Maybe they're hoping that he would raise funds and support from the U.S. where he's based with, who he is now, and bring it down to come and support people here. I'm just thinking,
because,
this
for
is
example,
wild thinking.
an ambassador is supposed to go around and espouse or give credence by value and words
anytime
to a certain program.
Maybe anytime he comes to Ghana, he will do that.
No,
when he's on vacation.
But if he goes to do that in, let's say, the government school I went to in Ashaiman, how is that a motivator?
You can't relate. Okay, maybe the message
because, for
is
example, the government school
aim
I
at
went
being
to,
an actor
behind
and you'll be
people are
featured in the
smoking
big
cannabis.
movie.
There are a lot of distractions in such communities. People are smoking cannabis. There's a bola here, or let's say a refuse dump. There's a market. There's so much noise. The environment just doesn't encourage you to go to school. It's easier to get distracted and all that. Did you get what I mean? So there should be some correlation.
Maybe.
Or let's say a village where the building itself is dilapidated, it's crap.
Are we overstretching this?
No, we're not.
Maybe the motivator
we're
is
really not.
Okay. Maybe the whole
really
essence is okay, so you see him just work hard. You probably be featured in a movie, a big movie, and then you be identified, and then you be sponsored, and you go to the US. Maybe that's it.
No, sometimes it doesn't mean that whatever the policy people do, it's always.
But I don't agree with it, though. I don't agree. If you have a take on this, Abraham Atta being made SHS ambassador, I just send us a WhatsApp message or a regular SMS message.
So we have Vice President Raps Chinese. So you have sent Gitmo 2 back Supreme Court orders, and those are the stories we have. Great.
We're going to do the finder from, I don't have the hardcore paper.
Okay. So we have the finder on your screens, and then we'll do the finder pretty soon.
In the meantime, we probably can do the Observer.
Okay, so on the front row of the Observer, it says, Minister trapped in sex blackmail as police grabs Tamale cartel kingpin. Sometimes we love sensational stories, so let's read it.
Which one's that?
Minister trapped in sex blackmail.
Hey!
As police grabs Tamale cartel kingpin.
Which minister?
The story is supposed to be on page 9 of the paper.
This is more like an ex-minister, isn't it?
And it says, Information gathered by the Ghanaian Observer indicates that the Northern Regional Police Command has zoned in on a cartel of young men and women who have been engaging in acts of blackmailing important personalities in the country and making huge fortunes from this illegal act. Okay. And we know that the group of people based in the Tamale regional capital has accomplices in Accra who help them in their devious acts against prominent persons, including ministers of state, etc., etc.
So how is this related to the minister? Which minister, by the way?
And it says that a police, it said reports reaching these people, following up on reports of a police.
Roland.
No, I'm not getting the minister.
There's a name. I can't see properly, but when you go back on the front page of the paper.
Rafia. It says the minister is Salifu Said.
Okay.
Okay, so according to checks, the Northern Regional Minister, Mr. Salifu Said, who is said to have also fallen victim to the cartel's operation and is being blackmailed, caused a police raid on the said lady. And the said lady is Rafia also.
So how did he get mixed up in this? We'll take our time and read and share the details with you. Charlie, I'm interested in this one.
But
I'm interested in how he was
But you're not tabloids. The whole story is like this.
I know, but this... I want to know how he was trapped, if he was trapped, and how the thing unfolded. You know what I mean? They're making us really curious, and I really want to read the details of that story.
Did he know he was being filmed?
In the Observer. Yeah. But the other front page headlines, Roland.
Oh, this one is...
You're a sensational guy.
Okay, Ghana is ready for big things. Dr. Baumia ban Passion of the Christ movie to curb mob injustice. Oh, really? That movie has been on for over 10 years. Hosting Gitmo 2 unconstitutional and police boss declares war on lawlessness. So those are the stories we have.
Roland, you did the Daily Statesman? Okay. You've done the Daily Statesman already?
Yes.
Okay. So that's it?
No, I've not.
All right. We'll do the last newspaper that we have, the Daily Statesman newspaper. Decision to accept Gitmo 2 unlawful, Supreme Court declares. Ghana ready for big things. That's our Vice President saying there. Government focused on implementing free SHS education. This was at the unveiling of Abraham Atta, who's been made a free SHS ambassador. Abraham Atta. K. Asenso. Okay, no, this one is not part of it. That's it for the headlines of the front page of the Daily Statement.
Our role model.
Unfortunately, we can't bring you the final.
Abraham Atta, our role model.
Do online now. We're going to go to myjoyonline.com and bring you the stories making headlines on our page.
Okay, so we go to myjoyonline.com. It has on the main page number of stories. It says NMC orders pawn broadcasting stations to stop. And then we also have there were hardly any dry eyes when former Joint News editor was honored by yeah, also that.
Okay, so let me give you the background.
Oh, okay. People
you know,
were crying.
when Jifa Bampo left and there was a send-off, she didn't cry. She held it in.
Yeah.
You know, when people were sad and people cried, she didn't cry. But this was the first time yesterday when she was honored, and I'm part of
were you there?
this group of women, definitely, Roland,
Okay.
part of this group of women in media and in communication broadly, you know, that decided
Was
to
Gifty
honor
Bingley
her.
there?
Gifty was definitely there.
Right.
Lots of, you know, very brilliant women
When I was leaving,
in communication.
when I was leaving media,
and so she cried for the
Nobody
first
honored
time
me.
on camera at
This is
this
not fair
event.
crap.
She was really, really touched. But you know, she's been an inspiration.
Yeah.
You know,
She's been a
yeah.
great inspiration to many people.
if you're looking for a role model in this business,
Yeah.
she's definitely one of the people you
all
want
of
to set
us,
your eyes on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
And
really
I
good.
should say this is a good initiative by the women in media communication. I should say, because you know I always say that communication leads you to many things.
Yeah.
People get to become leaders because they can't communicate adequately. You need to connect with people.
Yeah.
And when you're ambitious enough, you can use it as a platform to do many other things.
I agree.
And I say that I've worked with some of the most beautiful, but the most hardworking and strict and stern managers who are women in communications. And I won't say all of them have been good, but I think that most of them I've worked with have been.
Human beings can be horrible, whether women or men.
No, I'm talking
Let's
about,
move on.
I mean, all of them.
May offers EU citizens post-Brexit status. So EU citizens legally residents in the UK will be entitled to the same right as British citizens after Brexit. The UK Prime Minister has told EU leaders, and this will come as a big relief because we know there are lots of people, EU residents who live in the UK because of all the hardships that came on. For instance, Italy. Some people moved around from different places, from Spain as well. Let's move on to the stories here. Health Ministry raises alert over strange disease in Liberia. The Ministry of Health has issued a health alert over what it says is a strange disease that has claimed the lives of 11 people in Liberia. So if you haven't seen that alert yet, we will share details of that with you. Check out Rollins' 70th birthday surprise gift. A 1993 Chevy Coupe. Oh my gosh! We'll open up those pictures right when we're done with the paper with the review. So let's just wrap up quickly. Let's just wrap up quickly with the other stories. We'll come back and show you some of the pictures. Supreme Court ruling on Ghana School of Law confusing. That's according to Kweku Azan, who's a Ghanaian US-based professor who actually took this issue to court. We won't allow Ghana to be plunged into lawlessness. There's an audio of the IGP on the site this morning. Also on the page, ex-presidents, MPs to queue for visa application. US ambassador reveals. Roland is not particularly enthused with this.
I am not at all.
Let's wrap up. Let get more 2 suspects go.
Unfortunately, we don't have the gas to also do the same too.
Governments. There are lots of stories on the page. We will come back and share pictures of Mr. Rollins and that health alerts later on. But Roland, we'll quickly do City FM.
Yeah, so we do City FM. Judgment on law admissions could nullify certificates. That's for Amini, his view there. Gitmo 2 case could jeopardize Ghana, US ties. And then we have Gitmo 2 have comported themselves well. And then we have US withdraws protocol visas for former presidents and MPs.
Have they also violated it, the former MPs?
No, presidents.
Not the former MPs, but the presidents. We're curious to know.
I don't know. So those are, and then intervening on market premiums, Gospel Bex. This one is what? Government, okay, Government and Hospital Farmers Association. Bex Nanado. Pressure upon pressure.
Let's finish up with the BBC.
Pleasure upon pleasure.
That's the name of the game, isn't it?
BBC. We have Mangufuli hits out at, and this one is, sorry. Court allows secret Zuma confidence votes. The court says, the Supreme Court in Africa now they are working on. They said, the speaker, the Speaker of the House said, as far as she was concerned, the vote needs to be in the open.
Yeah.
Okay? And then they took it to the courts. The court said, look, you have the right. Huh?
I don't
To
know.
do
I
it
think
in
Mr. Jacob Zuma has been involved in a lot of things. Really.
I'm thinking this one, he can't escape this one, can he?
Yeah. Well, he's always has come through, but we'll see how this one goes. This one looks to be, it's almost becoming like the ultimate. Should he resign really in the face of all these allegations that are coming out?
No, the man he never quits. You know, African leaders, they don't resign like that. So please go up. This one is fascinating, apparently. You know, they were experts at a health forum in Kenya.
Yeah.
And they got hit by cholera.
Oh.
They were attending a conference organized by Kenya's Ministry of Health in Nairobi. And then
they came down with the disease.
Infected.
Okay.
When easy bananas was cholera and
cholera is no respecter of persons. Interesting there. Well, there are lots of other stories you can catch up. If you're interested in that, confidence votes for Jacob Zuma, you can read a lot more. But Roland, there's a message that we've received on Abraham Atta. Elikem says, as much as we all find it difficult to understand why Abraham Atta was chosen, he's chosen to inspire kids to aim higher, and the first step to achieving higher heights is education.
I agree.
All right. Thank you very much for your perspective.
Wait. I agree.
You agree, but what?
I agree that he's a role model.
You've had your say already. That's it. We're not going back and forth on this. Let Elikem also get his say. Abraham Atta being the ambassador for Free SHS doesn't mean he is and will be the only ambassador for the program. Let's face it, this guy has risen through thick times and
SHS, so Free SHS.
I'm
not saying international school.
Okay. Kindly include your name when you send us a message. Really appreciate the message you've sent. More messages on the Free SHS ambassador. This one says, the Free SHS ambassador should have been someone schooling in Ghana here. Anyway, they know better, from Isaac Amankra. That's the thing. Well, I wanted to say something, but I will not. Okay, let's read this one. Point of correction. The news carried by the Ghanaian Observer newspaper headline, Minister trapped in sex scandal relating... okay. Oh... Okay, I'm not going to read this on air because we haven't entirely read the story. So we will have to do that. We read what was on the front page of the paper. So Mama thinks if it is negative, then it should be... Okay, I'm not reading this message. I'm not. We're not doing any politics here. Keep your message. This one says... before you even delve into the issue of the U.S. ambassador or embassy withdrawing the diplomatic passport for the ex-president, I would like to say that it is indeed an unfortunate decision, and I pray someone to give the U.S. government a cogent advice with regard to that. Okay, Silvanus, Hadiche. Okay, so this Silvanus, Roland, Silvanus was my mate actually. You know, when we're in Zico together. I didn't know that you've been watching the show.
Silvanus. Zico.
Zico, yeah.
Ciao. Good morning to you, Silvanus.
And we're head prefects together as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were the girls prefect?
Oh, no. See, now that Silvanus is listening, let me settle this. So I won hands down. I was the head prefect, but you know how they treat girls.
Yeah.
When the girl wins, then she's the girl's prefect. But when the guy wins, then he's the head prefect. You see that thing? Yeah. So I wasn't supposed to be girls prefect, but I was girls prefect. But I claim my head prefectship now.
Wallahi.
This one says, I appreciate your morning, but on Abraham Atta, you're getting it all wrong. Know that Kofi Amoabeng is malaria ambassador. Must he be malaria patient? Obviously no. Ochiamin Kwame is the ambassador for hepatitis. Must he be a hepatitis patient?
Not at all.
Absolutely not. And the list continues. Okay, all right, we get where you're coming from. Kojo Bonsu in Nkwanta. It's a democracy, so I'm not going to let Roland say anything.
Charlie, I think you've won. You won on your own debate.
This one says, there are millions... hey, I don't get where people are coming from with some of the messages of bias coming on the platform this morning.
Who's getting bias?
Oh, no, I'm not going to confuse myself with
all right.
people who are linking the conversation to a political party. Let's get pictures of Mr. Rawlings. Check him out. Check him out, Roland.
Chare.
Yeah, man.
So
they say built on the fourth generation platform, the car is a unique collectible version of a classic American sports car.
Built on the fourth generation
Damn.
Convertible.
That's how you do it.
Have you seen him ride in town before? I've seen him. He has this green convertible.
Yeah?
Charlie.
Oh my God, but look at him. Charlie, does he look 70?
I've seen him ride a motorbike. I've seen him ride a motorbike, ride a helicopter.
Fred, stay here. Fred, stay here. Okay, so for a classic car, it's 300 horsepower, 4-speed automatic transmission, make it a fitting gift for a most loved former president.
Wallah ilallah.
Okay, so the identity of the person who presented the gift to the former president remains
unknown.
Keep guessing. Keep guessing.
Ford, yeah.
Tata.
Chevy. Chevrolet.
Okay. All right. So that's it. Benedict, why have you opened your mouth?
Oh my Benedict.
That's it for the review. We'll come back with a health alert, but stay with us. We've got a relationship Friday conversation. We're talking about something that in recent days, really, it's also been making huge conversations on Facebook in particular, where people seem to be confused. They're AS, their partner is AS. Should they still go ahead and marry and get married? It is a disease. Where were you on Sickle Cell Day? It is a disease, except that when somebody has it, we don't say the person is a sickle. We say it's a person living with sickle cell. So we'll go back to the lessons that we learned on Sickle Cell Day and then continue with the relationship. We've got Joe Mettle, who's our teaser of the year, passing through the show. He's launching his 4th album.
Is it the one that's already on sale? Because I bought...
There are some single... Is it on sale?
No, this one is live. I bought 2 CDs.
Okay, then that will be it, because this will be live. It will be live. The concert is live.
No, this one was recorded live.
Yeah, this concert...
That's the album?
This concert, my understanding is it's like a live recording of it.
Yes, they have A and B.
Okay, all right. He will give us more fill-out when he's here.
I bought it on the street.
But Damaged Goods is also showing this weekend. So Roverman is passing through the studio.
I got that ticket eventually.
So you went?
No, I couldn't go.
You wasted it. And then Habitat Fair, we're talking Habitat Fair 2017. We're beginning the mini first. The first one is happening at the Achimota Mall. More information on the show this morning. But Benedict is coming up with sports.